What's going on, guys? Surly Place here with a 2018 World Series preview. This is what I think is going to happen in the 2018 World Series. Overall, this is kind of just a news video, kind of just giving you my opinion on things. I think I want to start bringing a lot more of these videos to this channel. So, anyways, guys, let's jump straight into it. Broke it down into a couple of things: lineups slash like offense, if you want to call it that. Starting pitching, bullpen, defense, and then players to watch. So. This is actually my second time recording this video. The first time I recorded, the video was way too long. Gonna try to make this one a lot quicker. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. I have it color coded. I'll explain that in a sec. Blue and white is Dodgers. Black and red Sox. Obviously, if you didn't know that. I have green as the advantage, red as the disadvantage, and blue is kind of a question mark. Question mark or like even, I guess you can call it that. So, anyways. Lineups, I didn't do it in the order of the actual lineups. I did it by position, so it goes catcher down to right field, and then starting pitching. These are not the actual matchups. These are just the starting pitching. Bullpen, I didn't list everyone in the bullpen and stuff like that. But anyways, here let's go ahead. We'll start with the actual lineups or break down by position. So catchers, I gave the advantage to the Dodgers with Grandal / Barnes over Leon and Vasquez. Honestly, this one is kind of a crapshoot. Leon and Vasquez are both pretty good defensively. Barnes is, I think, the best hitter of the four guys that I listed. Grandal has had an absolutely terrible playoff so far. I think he's going to play a lot more than Barnes because he is a switch hitter. I think that his bat's provided, or I think his bat, that aspect of being a switch hitter, his bat gives you so much versatility, especially in the World Series. But anyways, I gave the advantage to the Dodgers just because I don't really know. It's kind of a crapshoot. And if we're just looking at just offense, I guess it's the Dodgers. If it was offense and defense, like overall position, I would probably give it to the Red Sox because their Leon and Vasquez are so good defensively, especially Leon. But anyways, moving on to first base, Muncy and Freese versus Steve Pearce and Mitch Moreland. I gave the advantage to Muncy and Freese just because they both play quite a bit, and Mitch Moreland is kind of down to a bench bat. And I do think that Steve Pearce is very good. But I think David Freese, with him just focusing on just hitting lefties, helps him out quite a bit. And Muncy's pretty good overall, so I give the advantage to the Dodgers. Second base, honestly, no question about it. I am not a big fan of Kike Hernandez or Brian Dozier. I think they're both so bad offensively. And Ian Kinsler's been red hot the entire playoffs. So is Brock Holt. And that question mark is actually for Mookie Betts. If Mookie Betts is going to be playing second base when the Red Sox play in LA. I think he will. So overall, I think that's an overwhelming advantage to the Red Sox at second base. Justin Turner versus Eduardo Nunez, Rafael Devers. Advantage Justin Turner, not Justin Turner. Justin Turner, just because he's so good offensively. I think he's going to have a great World Series compared to Nunez and Devers. Shortstop, Machado, Bogarts. Honestly, this was really hard for me. But if we're just talking offense, I think Machado's done a great job so far with the Dodgers. He had a pretty good overall NLCS, and he had a pretty good division series too. So I think advantage Dodgers at shortstop. Outfield. So this one's pretty one-sided. I think the Red Sox have the best outfield as a whole. I think Benintendi / JD Martinez, if he plays left field, I don't think he will. But I just kind of have him listed there. I think that overall, like the advantage goes to the Red Sox. Andrew Benintendi's really good. And again, this is just offensively, not defensively. We'll get into defense later on. But Andrew Benintendi, I think, is better than Jock Peterson and Chris Taylor. We'll see. It's kind of even on that, but I like Benintendi a bit more. Jackie Bradley Jr. versus Cody Bellinger. So if this is the regular season, 100% Bellinger. But with how hot Jackie Bradley Jr. is, 100% have to give it to him. He actually might end up being World Series MVP if he can continue what he was doing. So we'll see. But I think advantage for center field, Red Sox. Right field, Kemp / Puig versus Betts and JD. This one's pretty one-sided. I think it's Mookie Betts and JD Martinez. Betts has been awfully quiet in the playoffs so far. But I think that he has a really big chance to break out of that right now and really perform in the World Series. And Puig is probably the Dodgers' best hitter right now in terms of how hot they are. So it'll be interesting to see how Puig does. And Kemp doesn't play very much; he's kind of down to a bench bat. But Puig versus Betts, I give it to Betts, but honestly, it's not that far off because just of how hot Puig's been and how cold Betts has been. So, anyways, overall advantage offensively, Red Sox. I think they take better at bats than the Dodgers do, and they don't strike out, and they come up in the clutch. Dodgers leave a lot of guys on base, and they strike out far too often, in my opinion, to succeed against the starting pitching that the Red Sox have. So speaking of starting pitching, we'll actually move on to starting pitching. So I think Kershaw is going to really, really struggle against this right-handed heavy Boston lineup, and I think Chris Sale is going to absolutely feast off of this Dodgers lineup. These are not really matchups. I'm just kind of going through it player by player. I think Chris is going to struggle in the World Series, and I think Chris Sale is going to excel in the World Series. Ryu and Porcello, I have Ryu as kind of like a blue spot. I don't really know how he's gonna do. Honestly, like I don't really have an opinion on it. I think he's either gonna do like okay or not be very good. And Porcello, I think will have a good World Series because I think again the Dodgers strike out far too much, and Porcello exceeds at getting strikeouts just like Chris Sale does, and Nathan Eovaldi, which is why I think Eovaldi will have a great World Series. Walker Buehler, I think that he is one of the best young pitchers in baseball. Overall, I can see him being pretty successful in the World Series. I mean, I could also see him getting lit up, but I don't think that's too likely. And then Rich Hill, if he throws more than 5 innings, I would be very impressed. I think Rich Hill's gonna be having him pitch is gonna be such a disadvantage for the Dodgers. And I think David Price is kind of breaking out of his postseason. I don't want to call it a slump because it was for such a long time, but I think he's kind of breaking out of that, David Price in the playoffs type of thing. But I still kind of have him as a question mark because I'm not too sure how he's going to do against a lineup of Dodgers hitters that are going to be probably all right-handed. With how Dave Roberts likes to do things against lefties, he kind of likes to stack it against righty. It's like he kind of likes to stack his lineup with righties when he's facing lefties. So we'll see. But I kind of asked a question mark. I totally forgot to mention Blake Swihart. Honestly, I don't have an opinion on Blake Swihart. I think he's just gonna be a bench guy. I don't really know what to say. I don't think he's gonna have a very big impact on the World Series. But I don't know. We might be wrong. We'll see. Bullpen, straight to the point. Dodgers win. The Red Sox bullpen hasn't let them down that much in the playoffs. I mean, they haven't blown a save yet. But Kimbrel has come very close. I think in every single one of his appearances, really. Overall, I think that the Dodgers have a much better bullpen, but the Red Sox haven't let them down that much, and I think that they're going to be depending on their starting pitching more in the World Series to kind of get them through it. But overall, if we're talking just bullpens, Dodgers have the clear advantage. The Red Sox had actually had to use Porcello and Eovaldi in relief appearances and Sale for an inning just to get by. So I think these 4 guys are going to come up huge for the Red Sox, and they're going to have to just because of how bad their bullpen is. Moving on to defense. I think it's pretty clear-cut and even. I'll go through it by position. Catchers, advantage, Red Sox. First base, even. Second base, I'm going to have to go with Kinsler and Holt and Betts. Betts might be a bit of a question mark in terms of defensively, but second base, defensively, Red Sox. Turner for third base. Bogarts for shortstop. Machado hasn't done that poorly in the playoffs, though, so that's kind of close. Not too close, but it's closer than I think people realize. Actually, defensively, Benintendi's great defensively, but so is so is Chris Taylor and Jock Peterson. So I'll actually make them one even. Bellinger versus Jackie Bradley Jr. This one's actually closer than people think as well, but I will give the advantage to Jackie Bradley Jr. But Bellinger is so great defensively. Kemp and Puig versus Betts and JD. Advantage Betts, but Puig is kind of iffy defensively, so is Kemp. So we'll see, and then Swihart is kind of there. But overall, I would probably have to give the defensive edge, I guess, barely to the Red Sox. Barely? Like, barely? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty even to me, so I won't even say it's the Red Sox. I'll make it break even. Okay, players to watch. Pretty simple. David Freese, if he does well against lefties, will greatly help the Dodgers' chances of winning. Manny Machado, this is not just for him winning the World Series. This is a big series for him and his free agent value. If he does poorly, I think his free agent value will go down. Not much, but it will still go down. So he definitely wants to have a good series. Cody Bellinger. If Cody Bellinger sucks, the Dodgers will suck. Bellinger has been a big role in most of the games that the Dodgers have won. Bellinger has performed well in some capacity. So I think Bellinger is a huge spark plug for this Dodgers team. Also because he can steal bases too. He's a great overall player, but he gets pretty blown away by fastballs up and sliders away, which these guys all can do. Well, they can't. I mean, Porcello and Eovaldi can't throw sliders away because it'll break into him. But Sale, I think, is going to carve up Bellinger. So we'll see. Puig is the Dodgers' hottest hitter right now. So we will see how he does. We will see how he does going into this. If he can keep that up, maybe he can make up for a poor or a lack of production from Bellinger. But if they are both on, the Dodgers have a pretty good chance of winning. Clayton Kershaw. I want to see how Kershaw does against a right-handed heavy Red Sox lineup. If he performs well, the Dodgers again have a good chance of winning the World Series. Walker Buehler. I'm only interested in him because he is a rookie. So I'm curious to see how he can do. Performing on the biggest stage in baseball. Steve Pearce. I'm interested to see how he does against lefties, kind of like David Freese. Devers, I'm interested just to see how Devers does just because he's so young, kind of like Bueller. Just want to see how he does on the big stage. Same with Benintendi, young. Just want to see how he does on the biggest stage. Jackie Bradley Jr., similar to Puig, is the Red Sox hottest hitter, and I want to see if he can keep that up. He has a pretty good shot of winning World Series MVP if he does keep that up. Another World Series MVP candidate is JD Martinez. I want to see how he can do in the DH role, along with playing right field when they are in LA. I think Mookie Betts is going to help out. Is going to help JD Martinez a lot defensively, and I think that they will use a lot more shifts. And overall, just placing JD Martinez in the correct position is going to be so crucial. Mookie Betts is another player to watch just because he's been so cold during the playoffs that I think he might either break out or stay cold, and he actually might contribute to a lack of offense, which is kind of surprising to say. I don't think people have really noticed that Betts has been kind of quiet, but it's because he's had Benintendi and Jackie Bradley Jr. and JD Martinez all kind of picking up the slack for him. But if Betts can pick it up, I think it's pretty easy for the Red Sox to win this series. And then the three starting pitchers: Chris Sale, Nathan Eovaldi, David Price. Sale, I'm just interested to see how he can do in the World Series. Nathan Eovaldi, I think, was the biggest steal during the trade, during like the trade frenzy of July and August. I think that was the biggest steal throughout those 2 months, and I'm actually really disappointed that the Yankees didn't get him. And then David Price, I'm just curious to see how Price can do during the World Series, just because he struggled in his first start against the Yankees, but then he quickly figured it out against the Astros. So I think I'm just interested to see how David Price can do. But overall, guys, I'm just gonna go out and say it. My prediction: Red Sox in 4 or 5. I honestly don't think that this is going to be a very close series. I think the Red Sox will come out swinging, and I think that that their offense is so good, and their starting pitching is so good. This lineup 1 through 9 is so hard to beat. It gives you 0 breaks. Where the Dodgers, I feel like there are a couple of, in air quotes, easy outs in there. Just too many guys that strike out far too often. Too many guys that can't come up clutch. I feel like the Dodgers lineup is very, all or nothing. The Red Sox are very, just all over the place. They'll kill you with base hits and doubles. They'll kill you by running. They'll kill you by hitting home runs. They'll come up clutch. It's crazy. This Red Sox team, I think, is so talented, and to me is the heavy favorites to win the World Series. So that's how I see it personally. But anyways, guys, that's my prediction. Red Sox in 4. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Let me know if you disagree or agree with any of my with the matchups that I have. Yeah, guys. Until next time, take it easy. Charlie Plays signing out.